Good morning, fifth graders. I wanted to offer you guys a read aloud option for your packet this week because I know that many of you guys are working on this at home without the help of your parents because a lot of them are still working. With the read aloud option, you guys should be able to look at and see what I'm looking at and then listen to me reading it out loud to you. So you have your roll of story this week, and your first sheet that you should see gives you a list of characters, settings, and problems. Remember that when we did the roll of story in class, and sorry I'm a little bit shaky, I tried to print this off and it didn't print off like I wanted it to, so I'm offering it on my computer and I'm holding it up as I do it. So it gave you your roll of dice numbers. So if you rolled a number 1, your character would be Miss Wren. And then let's say you rolled a number 3, your setting would be the principal's office. And let's say you rolled a number 6, that she got lost on a field trip at the zoo. So you guys would work on putting those 3 things together to create your own story. Moving into our instructions. Okay. This takes us back to the beginning of the year when we wrote our stories on the zombie and Mrs. Wren as a princess. Do you guys remember? You wrote 5 paragraphs on your own for the first time, and then we used it for coding in Scratch. This week you're going to do the same thing. I want you to focus on creating your 5 paragraphs to tell a fictional story that you rolled using dice. You have all week and the weekend to spring break to complete this. So although I know it says that you have all week and into spring break, I'm actually pushing this back to next week, so it won't be due until next Thursday, giving you guys plenty of time to work on it. However, it will be graded. I'm looking for completion and effort. That is it. Step 1 on your instructions is to roll your dice to get your character, setting, and problem. Don't cheat because this makes it more fun. Remember, you can use more than one character or one setting. So if you guys remember in our story, Miss Wren was not the only character, but she was the main character. It makes it more fun to add dialogue between one or more characters in your story. You may also have more than one setting, so your characters can move from place to place. Step 2 is to plan your story before you start writing and be as creative as possible. Remember when we created our stories, we first mapped it out and kind of brainstormed ideas as to what we wanted to write about or what our story could be about, because it's not easy to roll a dice and then try to kind of plan your story as you've gone. Step 3 is putting your words into 5 paragraphs. I gave you 5 paragraphs because that's what they're going to expect from you guys in the middle school. So in your first paragraph, you remember that's your introduction. It should be around 3 to 5 complete sentences. You're introducing your character, setting, and problem to your reader. Body number 1 should be about 5 or more sentences. This is where you start telling your story. Remember to add suspense for your reader. By suspense, I mean to make sure that your story is interesting. A lot of us start writing and we lose track, and our reader starts losing track as they're trying to read what it is that you are writing. So please be sure that you're adding lots of suspense. However, remember that you also have 2 more paragraphs or 2 more body paragraphs to write after this. So you don't want to reveal the ending in your first paragraph. Body number 2. Maybe your setting has changed, your character's in trouble. You're going to keep writing through this. It should be about 5 or more sentences. Body number 3. It's time to get to the climax of your story and start wrapping things up. So this is where your story usually hits its turning point and your problem starts to resolve. And then your last paragraph is your conclusion. It should only be about 2 or 3 sentences, and it's time to wrap up your story and end it for your reader. I am more than happy to help you guys plan your story. I am more than happy to help you and walk you through writing it if you guys are having any difficulty at all. Please reach out to me if you need any help and use this as needed. Thank you.